Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In my previous video on Salesforce billing, we have seen how milestone based billing can be configured. Today we are going to see billing rule in depth. Okay. So previously on my sessions on Salesforce billing, we have seen how different types of rule can be configured in Salesforce billings, just like billing rule, RevRec rule, and text rule. We also seen the related objects as well. But today we are going to concentrate on billing rule only. So here's the agenda. We're going to see what is billing rule and billing treatment, what is it used for, then we have a small use case, and then we'll review the configuration. Okay. So what is billing rule and billing treatment? Billing rule defines whether an invoice line will get created for a particular product or not. It also defines how your invoice line will get created for partial period sale. Okay. Now, what is partial period sale? So let's say you are selling something in between of the months. So how your invoice line will get created when an invoicing will be triggered. So let's say you want to club it with the next month's billing, or you want to have it billing of those 15 days only. Right? So that's being defined on billing rule. Related to billing rule, there is a object related list called billing treatment. Okay. Now what that billing treatment stores? So it stores finance book, it stores GL rule, it stores legal entity, it stores cancellation rule, it stores cancellation invoice plan as well. So these things are defined on billing treatment, which will be driving like when the invoice line gets created, to which finance book it will relate to which GL rule it will relate to, how the cancellation rule will be, like in case you cancel the line, how you, in case of milestone product, how it will work when you cancel it, and which legal entity to associate to. So that is for what we define billing treatment. Now what is it used for? So billing rule, as we discussed, it determines if an invoice line will get created for a particular product or not. uh, if partial period sale is there, how it will be recorded. Then for billing treatment, it defines following things like which finance book, legal entity, general ledger, or invoice plan will be associated or with invoice line, right? Okay. So now we'll move forward to the use case. ABC Corporation is selling software service to Acme Corporation. Following services also comes along with the software services. So whenever we buy software services, we'll end up buying essential maintenance and service upgrade as well. Now, software services, along with other services mentioned above, will be billed as follows. So, in case of software service, whenever an invoice line will be created, it will be a combined period billing. So, if it is being sold on 15th of this month, so whenever an invoice gets created, the invoice line will be created or will be having billing for 15 days of this month and next 30 days. So, that would be 45 days of billing. Then in case of essential maintenance, we don't want to invoice it. So that line will not be available on invoice. And the service upgrade that will be charged partially. So if it's being sold on 15th of this month, so it is a separate partial period billing. So that means it will be billed for 15 days only in next invoice. Yeah. So let's review the configuration. So I'm on a card screen, or I haven't added any product, or I can add some product, but before that, let me show you those three products. So this one is software service, this one is essential maintenance, and this one is service corporate. So if I go over here, I can see the billing rule, which defines combined partial period. So let me just open this up. So it states like the name, then initial billing trigger. So when this billing will be triggered, so it will be triggered on order product activation. Okay. Then there is something called partial period treatment. So that is combined as of now. Okay, let's ignore this, we'll cover it later. So partial period is combined, and that's where your invoice line creation and invoice line billing will be identified. So I have kept it combined, and there is something called generate invoice. I have set it to yes. If it is no, then it won't create a invoice line for that particular product to which this billing rule is associated with. So here we can see like software services is having billing rule as combined partial period. So whenever an invoice line for that software services will be created, it will be created for uh, by clubbing the days like 15 days or whatever days left in this month plus next month's billing. So over here, when we go to related list, as we speak about which data to be related, right? So which billing finance book, uh, what's the cancellation rule, which GL rule to associate, which legal entity to associate, right? Those details are available. So whenever an invoice line will get created, if that invoice line is having this billing rule associated, those fields like GL rule, legal entity, finance book, those fields will be on invoice line them will be populated using these values. And when you go to that particular general ledger, you'll be able to see all those invoice line items. Right now I can see general treatment, but I haven't added that particular related list, otherwise I could have seen that. Okay. Now that was for combined partial period. Now let's talk about service separate, which is separate partial period. So everything is same except this partial period treatment separate. That means that drives separately invoice creation for the remaining day of current month. Now in case of essential maintenance, we have marked it as do not invoice. That means all these things remain same, but generate invoices no. That means whenever an invoice gets created, invoice will not be recorded for this particular billing rule or the products related to that billing rule. So now let's see. Okay, so I'm just going over here and adding all those products to carts. So I'm just adding it. I'll just save it. You can see the pricing coming up. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and make it order. That will drive the order creation. And once the order got created, I'll go to each and every order product and will associate the legal entity, which will associate all the treatments. So if you see over here, the tax rule, the billing rule, and rev rules are there. But remember, this was do not invoice, right? So there will be an invoice run processing status. That means will not invoice. And whenever invoicing is running, it will ignore all the order product which are having this field value set as will not invoice. Still, I'll just associate the default legal entity for this, and that will associate all the treatments. So you see, nothing is there, right? Because for this rule, we haven't associated any billing treatment since it's not required at all, right? Because we don't want to bill it. So that's why nothing comes up. But if I go over here, the status will become pending billing. And what I can do is I can associate the legal entity and we can see this treatments and everything will get populated. You see now finance book getting populated, treatment getting populated, right? So those things comes up. We haven't associated rev rec rule or tax rule with this legal entity as of now because we are targeting the billing rule only. Otherwise that would have also come up. Now over here I can again see this is invoice run pending billing and I'll associate this legal entity. So I'll just associate this and you see my next billing date. It is 21/6/2023. So next billing will be created on this date for me. Since it is bill in advance, it's the current date. But what if my order date, let's say order start date is this, okay, but my billing day of month is first of every month. Okay, so that means like I'm selling in between of the month, right? Which is not my billing day of the month. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just associate an invoice batch. But before that, let me show you. If I refresh it, now my dates will be changed. So if I see 21/6/2023, now my next billing date will become 1/6/2023. You see? So now whenever a billing will get created, it will only created for a month. But what I want to do is I want to associate an invoice batch. So if you now, in case of this partial period treatment and combined billing, Previously, we were generating an invoice using bill now, but in this case, we're gonna generate invoice using invoice scheduler, and then only we'll have this separate line and combined lines available on the invoice. So in this case, whenever you want to, or whenever you are having this kind of rules, uh, please do not generate invoice using bill now. Okay, ideally we will not be generating, we'll be generating using invoice scheduler only. So what I'll do is I'll just make it as batch 3, and then I'll go to invoice scheduler. I'll have an invoice scheduler, but I will create a new test billing rule. Then how I want to generate, I want to generate it for once. Now invoice batch, I'll select 3. Don't worry about this, we're gonna have a whole session on invoice scheduler, so I'm just putting it out as of now, but we're gonna have the session on this as well. So I'll just mark it as today, the starting time. Okay, and let me mark it as over here, let me say it is 1/6/2023. So what I want to do is I want to have it as 01/07/2023. So I want to invoice it till this date. Okay, so that means this month plus next month. Okay, so I want to invoice it for that. Now I might have to just see the time, current time. It is 4:06 p.m. So let me just take as 4:07 p.m. and I'll just save it and we'll wait. Okay, ideally a schedule will be there, so I'm just checking out in schedule job if got triggered or not. I'll open it up and it will be running on 4:07. So right now it is 4:06 and we'll have to wait for a minute. Okay, and then it will be available for us. Meanwhile, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel to get learning from this kind of videos. You can also go to the playlist that I have created, which can help you learning Salesforce CPQ, Salesforce billing, and Conga CPQ as well. Now, as we speak, it ran in, right? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just go over here and I'll refresh and I'll go to related list, I'll go to invoice run and you can see the progress bar is 100% over here. As I go over here and let me see, I'll refresh the page. There should be an invoice for me. Let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry, my invoice date was correct. Yeah, it was correct. Let's wait. But before that, have I activated the order? So let me just see. Because without activation it won't work, so that's my bad, I haven't activated the order, so I'll just activate the order. And now what I can do is I can still go to that particular invoice run and I can change the date to 4th and 9. I'll just save it and let's wait. Okay, I'll again go to the schedule and let's see whether that scheduled job is triggered in or not. So let's see. Let me refresh it. Okay, it didn't kick in, so let me just create a new one. Okay, so I'll go to the invoice run again, invoice run. I'll make it once. I'll select the batch as 3. I'll pick today's date. It is 0409 p.m. I'll make it 0409 or let me make it 04010 meanwhile. And this one is 0107. So I want to bill it for next month. Okay, and I'll just save it. So I'll go over here and I'll see, I'll refresh it. Yeah, it's been created 4 and 10 and let's wait. I'll refresh couple of time. Yeah, next schedule is 4:10. Let's wait. Yes, should come up now. Let's see. Refresh for a couple of time. So guys, meanwhile, like if you have any feedback on the sessions, please comment it out. I'll be happy to help you out on any kind of issue that you are facing or any feedback, right? Feedbacks are always welcome. I'll be happy to improve wherever it's needed. So feel free to mention your feedback in the comments. Now I think it has triggered it. So I'll just go to invoice run. I'll just refresh it. I've got an invoice run over here. It's progressing right now. It's 20% progress, 30%. So let's wait. Even you can see the indicator like once it is completed, it will become green. The percentage completion also comes up over here. It got 100%. You can see that green and we have an invoice. Okay. So now for our essential maintenance, right, we have marked it as do not invoice. So I should not see an invoice line for that particular one. Yes, that's correct. Then service upgrade was partial period treatment. So it started on 21/6. So the billing is only for 9 days. And then for rest of the day, rest of the month, it has another invoice line. And in case of software service, we have marked it as combined partial period. So the invoice line is starting from 21/6/2023 and it is till 31/7/2023. So that is how you can utilize billing rule to manage how your invoice line and invoice line billing will be handled. So thank you very much guys for watching the video. Please like, share to the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share it with your colleagues. Thank you. Good day.